Hello, my friends. Today we are going to make a transaction here on MARAPOOL. As many have requested, right? I understand it's not simple, okay? It's the first time I'm doing it here. It's going to be a lot of work. So go ahead and leave a like for us to fight the forces of evil. And I will show everything. I'll provide the scripts in the description, and I'll do it from start to finish, showing so that if you are lucky enough to find a winning wallet, you can withdraw your Bitcoins with the assurance that they won't be stolen, just like the winner of Wallet 67 just did. The first thing I'm going to do is generate a 67-bit wallet. Then I'm going to take the 67 wallet. Obviously, I'm not going to use the same address, right? Because otherwise it would be stolen immediately. But I'm going to change it here. Look, instead of 1942, I'm going to put 2025. Instead of 30, I'm going to put my age, which I will reveal to you here exclusively. It's 40, okay? Many people think I'm very young, but I'm 40 years old. Simply well taken care of. Bitcoin is good for your health. Now that I have my 67-bit wallet, I'm going to transfer some money to it. The first thing I'm going to do is find the address of this wallet so I know where I'm going to transfer to. For that, I'm going to use the script I have from UIF, BTC UIF, okay? But you can use any script you have there. Here is the key from the previous challenge, right? The challenge 166, but I'm going to delete it and put my key. This script here is generating the UIF, and I set it up to also generate the address, okay? So I know what the address is to know where to transfer the Bitcoins to be able to do the test. So let's go, let's generate the address. To generate it, I will simply enter the terminal and run node ufis.js, which is my code. I've already saved it. And it will generate for me both the UIF, which in this case I don't need yet, and the address. This is the one I will use now to be able to transfer the Bitcoins there. I will also need the UIF. I will save it, but for now, I will just take the address. And I know that it's to this address here that I will send my Bitcoins so that I can then perform the test. Before I send it, let me check here on mempool.space, okay? As you can see, the address has nothing yet. The wallet is empty. It is practically, mathematically unlikely that I will land on an existing wallet. But anyway, it's always good to check, right? Especially since I already have the page open and I will be able to monitor what is happening with my transaction. It has already appeared here. Obviously, it hasn't been confirmed yet, right? We will have to wait for the next block for it to be confirmed. But it has already appeared here. The last block was mined 5 minutes ago. Now we just have to wait. It's already here in the mempool waiting to be mined. And 2 more blocks have been mined. And our transaction probably entered in one of these 2 blocks. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's go back to the address. The address is confirmed there. Our transaction is already confirmed. Our Bitcoins have been transferred to the wallet. Now I'm going to the script, which I'll leave for you in the description, and I'm going to change a few things. First, I'm going to check on the MARAPOOL site what the minimum fee is, which is 22, right? So I'm going to update my script here on line 38. I'll update it to 26. Let's add a margin of error, okay? It will calculate the fee here in the private key, and be careful where you put your private key, okay? I will enter the private key of the wallet I just created. In your case, if you're looking for 68, for example, you will enter the private key 68. And here in the address, I will enter the address for challenge 167. The challenge that's still ongoing, we can find it at bitcoinpuzzles.io. Just go to the challenges page, and there you have it. Here's its address. At the moment, it also shows us 0.01 BTC. But I will use this address to test our transaction here. I'll save it, right? Don't forget to save, otherwise you'll transfer to the wrong address and with the wrong parameters. I've already entered the amount 0.0009 here, which is how much I want to transfer. Remembering that initially I transferred 0.001, but, right? To be able to pay the fee and to do everything safely here and show you, I will set it to 0.09. And now I'm going to run the Python script or create transaction. It will create the transaction for me and print it in hexadecimal. There it is. Sign transaction. Here I have my transaction here, or 1000, which is exactly the format that MARAPOOL requires. You see? In fact, the example starts with 01000. It seems like we're on the right track, but obviously I'm going to check, right? Because in this crypto world, you always check, recheck, and recheck again to avoid making mistakes. So now, gentlemen, I'm going to open Electrum. I'll click here, create new wallet, wallet 18, import a Bitcoin address, right? as we've already done in several videos on the channel, and here I will enter the UIF. I'll enter my UIF. Next, no password, finish. It will import my wallet here, see? Here it's not even confirmed yet, right? There are only 2 confirmations. There are still a few more blocks that need to be mined for it to have all the necessary confirmations for us to be able to transfer. But in the meantime, let's do a send in the pay to. I will enter the wallet for challenge 67 167 exactly as I put in the code. And now I will set the amount. The same thing, 0.09. Now I will click on pay and it will ask me to choose the fee here. See? Here it's 30. So here, look, I will click on preview. I put 30 here, all set. I will put it in the preview. Here in the preview, I will press the sign button. This will sign using my private key. Remembering that my wallet is already imported here in Electrum. When I click sign, it will sign, and now I can share it and, for example, save it in the, let's open this file, and here it is. Look, the transaction already looks different. See? It's here, it's 0.2.0.0.0, and so on. And just out of curiosity, let's copy that transaction we got here, see? It's already different. I'll try to understand why this is happening. I tried playing with both methods, but I ended up concluding that it doesn't make a difference, right? Because if you stop to think, there are so many variables, for example, the size of the message, the exact fee. I think it will never be the same with both methods. But just for safety here, I will use the transaction I made with Electrum, although I will also make this script available in the video description. Let's go back to the MARAPOOL website, and now it's giving an error here. It's not able to connect. Let's refresh here just to see. There, right when I was filming. First time it gave an error, but that's okay. The fee even decreased. Now it's 17.5. And here, look, let's paste the transaction. Yeah, see? Arrow 2 is that transaction I got from Electrum, which I just showed you how. And now I'm going to click this button, activate Slipstream. When I do this, it will say something like, it's in the Marathon mempool, waiting to be mined. You can see the status here. It will generate a link for you. You keep this link, and you'll be able to check the next time this transaction is mined, you'll have a status within this link. If we go back to the mempool and search for the address again, we're only seeing the original transaction, right? That transaction we saw at the beginning of the video, already with 148 confirmations. The second transaction for now is nowhere to be seen. What does this mean? It means that if there were bots monitoring this address, they wouldn't be seeing anything now. They wouldn't know that I started this process on Slipstream. And Slipstream is there, waiting, right? Now what will happen is that we'll have to wait for MARAPOOL to mine the block. See, are you watching? It's been several blocks since it last mined. We might get lucky and have it happen in the next block, or it might only happen in 20, 30, or even 200 blocks. But I imagine it will happen at any moment because MARAPOOL has a high hash rate. While we wait for this to happen, I'll explain to you what's happening on this screen. Each of these little faces here represents a block that has already been mined. See? You can see here irregular intervals. For example, these 2 blocks were mined almost together, but on average, a block is mined every 10 minutes. On average, not in practice. In practice, it's a different story, as you can see here. On average, every 10 minutes, a block is mined. These ones on the other side in yellow are blocks to be mined. See? Each block here that we click on is composed of several transactions. The little arrow changes here. It shows which transactions are in that block. And then you might ask, well, why are there blocks that are, I don't know, in this queue here, right? Why aren't all the blocks here? When I make a transaction, I want to be in the first block. I want to be directly in the queue to be mined and enter the block. I don't want to be in these previous ones here waiting. This happens because of the fee you choose to pay. The higher the fee, the greater your chances of being in this next block to be mined. Each of these little squares is a transaction. And then you see that these transactions are constantly reorganized. Why? Because these transactions have different sizes. The size is how much space the transaction occupies on the blockchain. Remember that the blockchain is a file that keeps growing. It's already over 500 gigabytes. So each space is precious. So what do the miners do? They try to optimize each block to have as many transactions as possible that pay more, right? So every time someone creates a new transaction, the algorithm reorganizes it in an optimal way so that the miner earns the maximum possible fee when they mine this block. If we look here on the left side where it says total fees, you can see that it's always increasing. Look, 61597, 6601, 6603. Every time someone sends a transaction, the algorithm re-optimizes and increases the fee that the miners will earn when this block is mined. If this block were mined now, the miners would earn $6,656 in fees. But as time goes by, you can see that this fee keeps increasing. Look, if it were mined now, it would already be $6,700, see? The more time passes, the more transactions are sent. The algorithm reorganizes these transactions, and the total fee keeps increasing. This is the purpose of this algorithm. While we wait, let's take a look at some statistics from MARAPOOL, see? In the last 24 hours, it mined 9 blocks, which is 7% of the blocks. So it's going to take a little while, statistically speaking. It's going to take a little while. Probably in the next 24 hours, it will be mined, okay? But it could be, I don't know. It could be in 2 hours. It could be in 15 hours. Let's wait. Yeah, folks, I went to sleep because I was tired, but I just woke up and look what I saw here. The balance of challenge 167 increased to 0.02. And then I went to Discord and saw a bunch of people asking, what's this, man? Did you make any transaction in MARAPOOL? What happened? And then I opened that link we had received from MARAPOOL when we made the transaction, and the link changed, you see? It only has status and nothing else. It's not working like before. It gives this white screen here. And let's go to the MARAPOOL to check, right? Let's enter the wallet address here. And here, look, there are 2 transactions, and this transaction has the tag not seen in MARAPOOL. This transaction was missing from a power MARAPOOL. It wasn't seen by the MARAPOOL, meaning the bots couldn't steal it. It has the tag of overplay autor, overpaid because the MARAPOOL charges more, but I paid $6 to make a $100 transaction completely discreetly without revealing my public key, without the risk of being robbed. What many people were asking about, now there's no excuse. First time it's recorded there, the step-by-step. For anyone who wants to do it, whoever wins, whoever conquers wallet 68, 69, 70 can withdraw without worry using this method. So don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time, my friends.